Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, taught us his truth and who do well, as well as peace, blessings, and many salutations unto the hopeful elect. Shalom as well to the sincere believers in general, both men, women, and children. Hey, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. Lord, willing this be edifying unto you and yours. All right, and as you can see, I have the Fresh and Fit podcast pulled up, which just to give you a backdrop, for any individual watching who may not know what that is, you have the individual on the far left, and on the far right is the faces and the hosts of the show, all right? And basically, essentially they bring women on, various different types of women, various age groups, but primarily promiscuous type, Miss Independent type women, who think they got it all figured out and don't need a man type spirit, you know what I mean? So they bring men on too, but primarily women. And, basically they have hours of dialogue going into, social constructs, the relationship between men and women, how it's supposed to be, how it's not supposed to be, basically what's what. And, everybody getting a turn to basically going to ask questions and, give their perceptions. And ultimately, the point of the show, as they like to say, is to build men up, to show them how women think and, basically give them a better opportunity at, smashing women and so on and so forth, But nevertheless, all right, what I wanted to go into, you have the lady on the far right, all right, Eve, ultimately just threw as hell, all right, because earlier in the show, which, by the way, when I press play, I'm going to start at the hour, 21 minute and 48 second mark, all right, but earlier in the show, I don't remember exactly where, I didn't mark it down, but she, they were asking questions, and they had to ask her, if she was spiritual. And she was like, yeah, I'm a Christian, and it kind of got a little quiet, crickets and shit. They were like, well, it's not really the same. They were kind of going into it. But nevertheless, got to this point where I was like, okay, yeah, this could be something I could go into for edification's sakes. Because Christians, all right, claim to believe in the Bible, but they don't live according to the principles and the words within the scriptures. Christianity is one hell of a drug, and our people are ODing, man, okay? Our people are ODing on Christianity and the philosophies and doctrines that it brings, all right? These people literally think they're justified by doing nothing, man, that there's no standard in which they're supposed to live their lives by, all right? No instruction in which they should seek out, no type of government from the heavens, man, just walking corpse, man. Just a walking corpse, okay? But nevertheless, that's pretty much the backdrop. I'm going to go ahead and press play, and then we'll just go into it like that.
So the man's got to lead or no? Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Miss Strong Independent?
Okay, so I believe the man...
All right, Salakia. I want to say real quick, all right, because I said it yesterday, all right? The Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahweh Shai, are not dealing with that independent woman's spirit, man. All right? We as men had to get in order, and so do you women, okay? Actually, let me start with a precept real quick. In the book of Ecclesiastes, because this book, Ecclesiastes, was written by King Solomon. All right. And, this was back then. So I want you to ponder on that, because this was back then, okay, that this was written, where he says these words and goes into what he's about to say. So this is Ecclesiastes 7, and I'll start at 25. It says, I applied mine heart to know, the word heart in the Hebrew being la'ah, which really translated back would be your mind. Okay, I applied my mind to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. It says, Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not one. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. All right. So King Solomon is saying that one amongst 1,000 men he found to be righteous. You know, and the righteousness is according unto what? The standard of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you know, which goes back to what? The law, statutes, and commandments, okay, that he has given unto us to live by, you know, for our sake, man, for the good of things, for the health of the planet, for everything, man. But you people don't want to live by instruction, and that's your problem. So he says, one among 1,000 men I found, but a woman among all those. So among 1,000 women, he found 0. Think about that, man. That was then, when women had some sort of decency to themselves, where they would cover up. They would dress more modestly. They weren't, you know, if you were a whore, if they had OnlyFans back then, you'd be put to death. Your career in OF would not be that long, man. You know? So think about today, man, where women are what they are, you know, according to the ways and the philosophies of Babylon the Great, you know, being put on that pedestal, and just, you know, they're joined hand in hand with the enemy, man. Okay. But it says what? Verse 29, last verse of the chapter. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. You know, even going back to the garden, everything was supposed to be paradise, man, perfect. We were never supposed to die, nothing. But what happened? Eve, it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, man. You know, that's why it talks about in the scriptures not to give another power over you, not your wife, not your friend, not your brother, not your son, not your daughter, nothing, man. Okay. The only power, okay, the only person you should give yourself over to is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in fullness, man. Okay. So I just want to bring that out, Salaki, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is not dealing with that solo dolo, I can do bad by myself, I don't need a man, because Andrew Tate said it perfectly, man. On you know, Apostle Gabar recently did a video, a lesson, all right, going into these same individuals, a Fresh and Fit podcast, okay, and you know, they had brought Andrew Tate on the show, and he said it, you know, very well, man. You know, when shit really pops off, then all these feminists and these women that, you know, then they're going to want to be women. They're going to want to seek out that protection, man. See, when everything's sweet like it is right now, you know, nothing's really hit the fan yet. You don't have men out, you know, raping women to death like you see in the Book of Eli, right? The movie The Book of Eli, all right? You know, women would seek out that protection from a man, okay? And that's exactly what's going to happen in these days to come, you know. But nevertheless, let me just press play again. Salakia.
Is the leader, but he should be the leader when
Here we
it
go.
matters.
Okay.
He doesn't have to be the leader in every single situation,
Okay.
but he also has to be strong enough to lead.
Okay. So what's the difference between leading and controlling?
See,
That's
okay.
another
Hey.
So that's what I'm okay. So in certain situations, when it matters, you're a leader. I don't think being a leader means you got to critique how I dress. I don't think being a leader means you critique how I make the food or how I clean the house.
So you're supposed to take it in like that. This is what you get. Shut up.
Like, in certain situations, like, the man should be the leader, like with finances. Like, you know, because men do get intimidated if a woman does make more money than them.
See, man, and I'm gonna just bring it out. This is Ephesians 5:22. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord, man. These are the same type of women that claim to believe in Jesus, that's their man, that God is their man. Just totally bugged out, man. Wants to skip over the man, but it doesn't work like that. You know why? Because it's written, okay? This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach. See, Yahweh Shai is our head, okay? That's likened unto our husband, okay? It says, and the head of the woman is the man, right? And the head of Hamashiach is the Most High, Yahweh himself. Okay, so there's an order to these things. I believe, is it the same chapter? I think it's 1 Corinthians 14:40. Right, it says, let all things be done decently and in order, man. So there's an order to things. There's instruction on how you're supposed to behave and, order yourself aright, man, okay? And that's according to the scriptures that these people claim to believe in, all right? But they're just utterly, ultimately through because, what does it say in Titus? Let's grab it. This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 16. It says, they profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him, right? And she's a prime example because she's double-minded, She says, well, I think we could be, the man's supposed to lead when it comes to particular things, but not when it comes to ordaining or ordering me around, if you will, You're a direct reflection of your man, of your husband. You're supposed to come in a certain way, man. You're not supposed to dress slutty, all right? There's a standard, and it's all written according to what? The scriptures, man, that these people claim to believe in. But let's get some more. Or Salaki, let me finish the precept. It says, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Just through, man. All right.
Wait to the mic.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
okay,
We'll let you
so-
finish. No, finish your piece. Finish your piece, and then we'll have someone challenge.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Finish your piece.
So, in finances, I agree, man. You can do your thing. I don't have to worry about money. That's no problem with me. But I feel like he shouldn't be like, you can be a leader, but like in the relationship, not on the individual. So, like, as the two people are together in the relationship, you lead them together, but like controlling would be like you're focusing on the person in the relationship. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Like controlling me as an individual. You don't control me, but you control like how we act as a couple or like what we do as a couple. But
that makes no sense. That makes no sense, man. Ephesians 5:22 again. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands as unto the Lord, man. Plain and simple, bro. Plain and simple. But this is the fruit of plantation Christianity, man. Struggling to make things make sense, trying to explain her ideologies and, the way that she wants to be governed. She doesn't want to give herself in fullness into a man. And that's most of these women. Why? Because they've been put on a pedestal in this society to where they can be over a man, Let's grab that. I believe it's in Jeremiah. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? All right, and we know Jeremiah, I believe 6:2, states that Israel is likened unto a comely and delicate woman. So this is talking about the whole nation of Israel going off, transgressing against the Most High, their power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Israel. Okay, but it says, for the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right. And they have, man, especially in this society. that y'all can both be, the Salaki, I'm losing my train of thought or thinking too fast. Y'all could both have consensual sex, man. All right, but if she don't like something you do or did, and will hold it against you, man, she'll take your ass to court, man, and you pretty much shit out of luck, bro. Under this Edomite supremacy system, she can take half your money. She can. I mean, there's many examples throughout the earth today. Dr. Dre and his wife, all right. Jeff Bezos and his wife, or ex-wife, I should say. And so on and so forth, man. So ultimately, they're happy where they're at. They're this is their kingdom. This is their paradise, man. All right. Little do they know what's to come is going to set them back in order, but that's going to be even greater for them. They just don't understand, and they don't want to be on one accord because, they have their rebellious spirit within them, But let me play a little more.
Don't control me individually. I'm
You
allowed to have my own.
You want to have complete autonomy over what you do.
Yes.
But my question is this. So earlier in the interview, you had a problem with men showing up to dates not dressed in a certain way.
Contradiction.
But, you're saying that he can't tell you how to dress.
Contradiction.
That is not a contradiction. I just know that I would. So if a guy doesn't like the way you dress, why is he dating you when you dress like that? I know I don't like a guy who dresses a certain way for the date. I wouldn't date a guy who dresses a certain way for the date.
Like a leader.
So then a guy shouldn't, if he is like 2 or 3 dates in, he's like, okay, your shirt's too low. But you met me wearing my shirt too low. You knew I wore low shirts and you continued to date me, and now it's an issue. That's what I'm talking about.
And there you go.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Right? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Right? That speaks for itself, man. These women out here are just they're not shamefaced, man. Okay? They're not modest. Okay, they're loud, flamboyant, and just whores, man. All right? This is the fruits of Christianity, man. All right?
Son, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna tear it up. Let me see.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right.
And he's about to he's literally, like he said, man, I'm about to tear it up. He's about to just totally dismantle this woman and everything she just said. All right?
First and foremost, you're gonna have a hard time getting in a relationship and staying in a relationship because you're not malleable. You're not willing to learn. You're not willing to be directed, and that's gonna be a disadvantage to you in life. First of all, if you're with a man and he has leadership qualities, that means he has some type of foresight. He's looking ahead. You couldn't possibly have that type of vision. You can't. You don't have the experience. You don't have the wisdom. So if you're not willing to learn and be directed, you're gonna miss out in life because of that. So there's just so many conflicting views that you have. Yes, it's a contradiction to think that you can tell a man how to dress, but he can't tell you. But the reason why you're making that mistake is because as a woman, you choose who you want to submit to. So if this guy ain't dressing a certain way, he ain't dressing the part, he's not signaling to you that he has some type of maturity. So you wouldn't choose him as a man because you wouldn't choose him as a leader. But him critiquing how you dress is completely different because he might see some type of potential in you and say, well, damn, you know what? If I could just fix these couple, hold on, let me finish and you'll get it. If I could just fix a couple of these characteristics in this female, she could be so much more. So when you see him, the way he dresses, you're not thinking I'm going to better this guy. You're thinking he's not good enough to lead me. You're not auditioning to lead him. So if he looks at the way you dress, he is in a position to say, you know what, let me show her how to class it up, or let me show her how to present herself to the public, especially now that she's my woman. How you were dressing as a single woman has nothing to do with how you dress as a woman that's spoken for. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be realistic in the dynamic between you and a man, if you even want a man, and you do want a man. I guarantee you do want.
Right, and if I can say, let me just pull the scripture. the standard, like I've been saying, man, you know, it's just a repetitive thing that we're trying to get into people's heads, you know, for who it's meant for at the end of the day, all right? Um, but the standard, the message is in the scriptures, bro, on how a man is supposed to conduct his life, how he's supposed to work, provide, so on and so forth. A woman, how she's supposed to hold the house down, how she's, and it's right here, okay? This is 1 Timothy 5:14. It says, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Okay, so they're supposed to be guiders of the house. They're supposed to bear children at a young age. They're supposed to be married. Okay, that's their role in the household, man. All right, men have their role and women have theirs. Okay, this is their role, and this is why, you know, I did a lesson on this, you know, a few months back. When you go into it, okay, women that don't have these type of characteristics, and when they hit their late 40s, early 50s, and they were looking back and realizing that they spent their whole life chasing that master's degree and, you know, that great career, when, you know, and they go into it too, you know, the 100,000 plus earner woman, you know, how she's ultimately depressed because no one wants her. She's rebellious. She's not, like he said, malleable. She can't be taught. She can't be led. So she's going to attract all the things that are opposite to what she wants. She wants to be, deep down, she says these things, you know, she wants to be led, but her actions are that of a, masculine man, all right? To assert authority, you know, like it says, usurp authority over a man, you know, you know, it was written that a woman is not supposed to do that, but that she is supposed to marry, bear children, guide the house, not have this, you know, fantastic career and, you know, travel the world and then do all these things. No, but from a young age to be brought up into this. But again, this is the fruits of, you know, plantation Christianity, as well as, you know, just the fact that we're in a land of captivity, man. You know, so I'm going to read it again. 1 Timothy 5:14. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house. Nowhere in there does it say have this fantastic career, you know, live it up in your 20s, go partying, get shit-faced, sleep with 100 different men, and then you're ready to settle down, because marriage is consecrated by sex, man. When you go into that word sex, it literally means to cut. And when a woman sleeps with a man for the first time, what happens? She gets cut, man. Her cherry pops, okay? That blood is the covenant in which that woman has now made with that man through him, you know, in his, you know, inserting his rod, all right? And, you know, there's just this whole society ultimately is just backwards. And these men go into it to an extent when it comes to the man and woman dynamic, okay? But they, you know, they're ultimately through as hell too, okay? They're ultimately through as hell too, all right? But nevertheless, the standard is in the scriptures on how women are supposed to be, man. On their role, what they're supposed to do. And when they don't live by that, hey, like I said, you can look up the information yourself, the statistics. The women who don't do these things written in the scriptures, you know, who don't live according to this standard, are the ones that are depressed, lonely, and die alone, you know, and die with a cat or a dog or both. There's 17 cats, you know, they don't have it. Why? Because they didn't adhere to the standard ultimately. Now I'm going to jump forward because there was another part later on that I wanted to bring in here as well to show you another branch, if you will, all right, of the fruits of Christianity. Now I'll go ahead and play it and we'll go from there.
No, but here's the thing. Like, the guy...
Contradiction.
It's not contradiction. Like, he brought me flowers on the first date.
Oh, you would do that for a guy that bought you flowers
Yeah,
on
the
the first
guy
date?
I'm spoiling brought me flowers on the first date, did the things that I liked, you know, and he was respectful and stuff like that.
And he got broken up with.
He was also that had nothing to do with.
But she broke up with him, guys.
I
That's why
broke
you
up
don't
with
be a
him.
nice
It
guy.
did have nothing to do with.
Okay, why'd you break up with him then?
No. He kind of there was. Do I really need to go all this on live right now? He kind of. Technically,
Just
I
say it.
cheated, but
Oh.
I didn't cheat.
Oh, you know,
So what does the scripture say about adultery, man? Let's keep listening, because she's gonna expose herself some more, man.
He thought I cheated.
she licked the penis, nothing else, guys.
No, no, it was actually a guy.
Oh, you kissed a girl?
I kissed my best friend.
I
He
kissed
got
a
upset
girl,
about it.
I
I was like, it's not a big deal.
You got mad that you kissed a girl?
Yeah.
And he brought you flowers, right?
You see that? You see that, man? Bro, you can't make this shit up. This is the fruits of Christianity, that you can do whatever the hell you want. There is no standard to live by. All right? And ultimately, it's Yahweh Bashim Shai giving them up, like we're going to read, into these, this uncleanness and, basically giving them up unto their own lusts. All right? But this is Romans chapter 1. Oh, man. What the hell?
It's not a big deal.
You got mad that you kissed a girl?
Yeah.
And he brought you flowers, right?
Listen, people have different values. I respected that. And then there was just also a lot of other stuff that happened after that fight. And I was just like, this is too much drama. Let me just back out of this.
Apparently,
And that's why we broke up.
as you can see, I got a strap.
But-
Fair enough.
Okay, I think that there's more there, but that's okay. He's giving us the woman's version. All right, Miss Argentina, how would you...
Salakia, I got a little sloppy. They already took down one of my posts from this week. And, yeah, it's just through, man. Hurt, Let them. But this is Romans chapter 1, and then we'll probably just wrap it up. Christianity and the Christians, they just don't have it, man. The so-called Christians, right? Because to be a Christian means you're a follower of the Messiah, and in deeds, in works, like I said, they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, man, being abominable. And that in itself, okay, laying with a woman, committing adultery, those are abominable acts punishable by death according to the standard of the Lord. All right, but that standard is not instituted here on the earth. So therefore, what? The heart of the sons of men is fully set in them. The heart of the sons of men and women is fully set in them to do evil, because speedy judgment is not executed. And, ultimately they just think they're getting away with everything. That, there's no standard. That's what they believe, man. As long as they say Jesus Christ, call upon the name, and believe, that's all they got to do, man. All right. I guarantee you, even with that, majority of these people are not going to be calling on Jesus in that day. They're going to be taking up carnal means. They're going to be, we already know, man. So it's going to be made manifest when it's all said and done. Romans chapter 1, verse 21, it says, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, right? What do we read to begin with? Ecclesiastes 7 and 29. The Most High made man and women upright, but they sought out different inventions. They came up with their own standard, their ways, how they feel, and that's what these women often say. I feel like this. I feel like that. No, man. It's not about your feelings. It's about logic and what the scriptures prescribes, all right? But it says, Salakia, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible men, into birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Wherefore the Most High Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who change the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Right? A woman and a woman, or a man and a man, is against nature. There's no life that comes from that. There's no procreation that comes from that. Only death, not life. All right? But it says, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. All right. And it goes on to talk about the things that are not convenient to do. And ultimately, there's a judgment for those that, proceed on in these things willfully and basically live according to the flesh. These people aren't walking in spirit. This is plain example of the fruits of Christianity, man. And Lord willing, it was edifying. All right. Want to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, many salutations to the elect. Shalom.